I believe there are two kinds of people in this world. Give me some noise if you are an over and down on the toilet paper roll kind of person. The other kind? Behind and under. Where are my behind and under people? Tails tell me that you likely own a cat. Two kinds of people in this world. People who believe that roundabouts or traffic circles are an amazing feat of human traffic engineering and they should replace every four-way stop on the planet. Where are my roundabout people? And people who despise the roundabout. They feel anxiety just approaching. Where are my no to roundabout folks? Okay, two kinds of people in this world. And this one was an argument early in my marriage. Which direction do the cups go in the cupboard? Who has the rims up? Raise your hand, make some noise. All right, and where are my people who say, heck no? They collect dust, rims go down. Where are my rims down, people? All right, we're gonna do one more. Two kinds of people in the world, and I will die on this hill. People who believe that Die Hard is the ultimate Christmas movie. Where are my people? Yeah! And I know that there are some of you who believe that Die Hard does not meet the qualifications of feel-good holiday cheer. Where are my people that say, nope, it doesn't make the cut? Okay. The thing is, there's a lot more than just two kinds of people in this world, and we all know that. And yeah, it can be fun to get into these little debates over things like which way the toilet paper roll goes, if we like roundabouts or not, if you like pineapple on pizza. They're fun. We can have those debates, we can get into those little arguments, and our relationships, for the most part, stay intact. And we know that yet there are so many other things that are important to us, that divide us. Things that create tension, and that just make you look at the person and go, what is your deal? In fact, I'm willing to bet that every single person in this audience can think of at least one person in your life that just make you go, why? Why are you the way you are? Why do you look at that the way you look at that? I don't understand you. Again, what is your deal? Well, I have a program that helps people really understand where these points of contention and friction come in, because we experience them every day. We experience them with our loved ones and our family members, and we know we experience them at work with our colleagues. But when we can really start to understand that some people are just wired to see and prefer the world a little bit differently than we do. And when we can start to understand that, then we can start to accept it and even adapt our approach when we're communicating with them so that we can get better results and have less conflict. Now, human behavior has been studied. You could trace it back thousands and thousands of years. And there are a lot of personality models out there. All right, so first, raise your hand if you've ever done one of those silly personality tests on Facebook. Okay, I don't know if you know this, they are not science-backed in any way, shape, or form. But there are models out there that are science-backed. A speaker earlier today talked a little bit about DISC. That's one of my favorites. There's also a little something called the MBTI, the Myers-Briggs type indicator. How many of you have done a DISC or an Insights or a Myers-Briggs? Tell me this, do you remember, are you an INTJ, an EMPF, an elemental PQRS? If you've done the Enneagram, are you a 6 with a wing 3 or a 2 with a wing 5? One of the problems that I have with all of these models is while they're really fun to learn more about ourselves, they're really complicated to remember later on. And it's even harder for you to remember how am I supposed to use this with the people in the moments where it matters most? So I asked you to think of that person that makes you say, what is your deal? And I'm going to teach you how to have iDEAL interactions. And when we have iDEAL interactions, it means that we're recognizing how that person might be approaching things a little bit differently than we are, so that we can adapt and adjust our approach to meet them in the middle. How many of you are familiar with the golden rule? In our Western society, we've grown up with it, right? Do unto others as they would do unto you. But that is an imperfect rule, because to believe that means that everybody wants to be treated the same way that I want to be treated. I'm betting half of you would be okay if I came up to you after this talk and gave you a big hug. And I'm betting there's an equal half of you that would say, no, thank you, don't touch me. These are the things that we talk about with iDEAL interactions. And nobody likes to be put in a box, which is often what happens with some of those personality or psychological profiles. But the thing about understanding the world around us is our human brains, we have to sort and categorize and compare and contrast our world in order to make sense of it. So when we talk about iDEAL interactions, we're going to agree just for today to allow ourselves to be put in a box, knowing that nobody fits perfectly in the box. Can we agree to that? All right, so before we dig in, I just want to introduce you to the iDEAL model. And DEAL, what's your deal, is an acronym. And after today, you're going to be able to look at someone, the person next to you perhaps, and say, what is your deal? And it won't be a bad thing. It'll be a question, wanting to know where they're coming from. DEAL. If you are approaching the world like a driver, it means that you want quick action, quick results. You're brief in your words. You say what's on your mind. You're bold. You're courageous. You are a risk taker and a decision maker. And you appreciate when the people around you are able to do the same. Driver is for D. The E is for Energizer. And if you are an Energizer, it means that you bring a lot of optimism and energy to the world, and you like to get people involved and be creative. You like to collaborate. You could be assigned a task that your boss expects you to do by yourself, and you'll somehow find a way to get 2 or 3 other people involved. It's just your nature. Those are our Energizers. D, E, A. If you are an A, it means that you approach the world like an analyst. You are logical. You are systematic. You're conventional. You believe that rules were made for a reason and they were meant to be followed. You want to make decisions based on information and data and logic. D, E, A, and L. If you are approaching the world from the L corner of the spectrum, you're a listener. You genuinely care about how other people are doing, what other people think. You're incredibly fierce in protecting your values and protecting the people around you. You want to live and work in a world where people talk and where decisions are made based on the collective thoughts and feelings of other people around them. And the thing is, we're all naturally wired to live from one of these approaches, and it doesn't mean that you can't use the other approaches. The other thing that this means is that sometimes in our work, in our relationships, we approach things differently. A driver, for example, who wants things done quickly, quick decisions, let's get to it, let's hit the goal, may come into conflict with a listener who wants to slow down for a minute, take some time, talk to people, learn a little bit about them. I'll give you another example. An Energizer, they want to go about the world with a group of people in collaboration with high energy and optimism. And the analysts, they just want to stick to the facts. They don't want to take an alternate route. They want to know that the path they're on will reach the destination that we intended. So all of these different ways of approaching the world can cause frustration and conflict. But if we can learn to adapt our approach and practice the platinum rule, which is do unto others as they would have us do unto them, then we can actually strengthen our relationships and become more efficient and productive with those we come in contact with every day.